When we inspect the outside of a house, first thing we're looking at is we're looking at the siding. This particular house has vinyl siding. We're looking to make sure there are no breaks down at the bottom of the siding, which typically happens when folks are using weed whackers or lawn mowers around their home. We're also looking for the trim to make sure we get a proper overlap of the trim. You want to make sure that there are no areas for water intrusion to get in behind the home. Then we move over to the windows. We look at the windows to make sure that there are no breaks in the siding of the windows. These windows are vinyl, single hung windows. We're making sure we don't have signs of cloudiness, signs of water intrusion, or areas of damage with the homes. Another thing we do when we're on the outside of the house is we check all the plumbing fixtures, i.e. the hose bibs, and all the electrical outlets. For instance, if we look at the front of this house, you'll see that there's an electrical outlet here. All home inspectors will use tools such as electrical outlet testers. There are two tests we do. One, we're checking the polarity to make sure that the outlet is wired correctly. The second thing we're doing is we're checking the protection feature, which is called the GFCI, ground fault circuit interrupter. If I test this, you'll hear that it popped. When it pops, what it does is it shows that I actually tripped the outlet, so it did what it was supposed to do. Now I have to see if it resets. If the reset button works, I should have power restored at this outlet. This is a proper functioning outlet with a proper protection feature installed. While inspecting the outside of the home, including the roof, one of the important components we look at are the flashings. Flashings are the transition from the roof surface to the home and around things such as skylights and vents. You'll see here that the flashing has a large gap in it. This gap in the flashing here will allow water to easily pass through and get into the home. The flashing should have been tucked underneath the siding. In this case, they took the easy way, laid it on top, and then just ran a bead of caulk along the top of it. It should be removed and tucked underneath to properly protect this home from water intrusion. Part of the inspection of the siding of the home is looking for areas where it's been breached or damaged and water can potentially get in. As you'll see, we have a fairly significant area of damaged vinyl right here. This is generally caused by somebody using a gas grill too close to the home. They lift the hood up, the hood's hot, and very quickly it starts to melt. This area will need to be repaired, otherwise we could have water entering and we could get mold and other damage to the home structure. Now you'll see we have some significant damage to the door on this home. This is the weather stripping that surrounds the door. More than likely, the past owner of this home had some dogs, and the dogs caused damage to the door here. This is important because it keeps out water, it keeps out cold air or warm air, and it keeps out bugs. So it's very important that this weather stripping be replaced. While I'm here, you'll also notice right next door we have another electrical outlet, much like we checked on the front of the home. While this outlet is wired properly and does trip as it's supposed to, you'll notice it's missing something very important. What it's missing is a cover. Without a cover, it will very easily rain in this outlet and it will constantly trip it because of the water exposure. So the cover is very important to make this a proper functioning outlet. Skylights are one of the things on homes that are, over time, prone to leaking. All your inspectors should very carefully inspect the skylights, inspect the seals of the skylights, and also inspect the flashing. On this one, you'll notice that the flashing is tucked underneath the shingles. This would be done properly. The shingles are laying on top of the flashing here until we get to the bottom of the skylight, and then you'll see the flashings are up on top of the shingles. This is a properly flashed skylight.